We are underway for another Gold Monday night. And how lucky we are, because it's the 16th of May, 2022. How did we get here so fast? It's almost June, the middle of the year. Seems like only a few weeks ago that we started this year. And luckily, there's nobody throwing rocks at us and no one landing rockets around us. So we are in a great place of the world. Australia. Okay, let's get amongst this. Everyone goes forward together. Just make sure that you ask for help if you need it, because someone will help you. We have a history of making sure that we don't leave anybody behind, and we intend to keep it going. So lots of things changing in the world. A whole lot of work gone into what's happening in the background that nobody can see yet, but I can tell you it's hard work, and we will keep you informed. So welcome everybody to another Gold Monday night. What a great thing we're doing here together. We're expressing our view as affiliates of a number of companies only. We do not represent these companies and we do not give financial advice. That's our legal disclaimer. What we're trying to do is share with you what we have discovered, and then you can do what you like with that information. So, a bit of general news from Europe. Once again, it's coming in all the time now. There's a whole heap more hubs shipped out in the last week. So if you are expecting one, just look out for some communications, because they will want to confirm where to ship it, and potentially will tell you where it's going to come through customs here, but I'm not sure about that yet because I haven't got one. All of the 2021 purchased hubs should be delivered in the next 60 days. It was 90 days for a few weeks. Now we're down to 60 days. I'm really waiting for mine to turn up, looking forward to it. But hubs purchased now may take 4 or 5 months to be delivered. And that's purely because of the manufacturing system. They were completely held up, couldn't make them at all up until just a month or so ago, where they were waiting for processor chips to put into the system. And then, you know, it just happens. So we look forward to finding out when the next lot are coming here, because there's a number of us that purchased hubs in 2021. And as Ms. Summers likes to point out, the Europeans have 3 names for everything. So a hub is a master node, and a master node is a node. Not necessarily is a node a master node. But if you've got a hub, you have a master node, and that's very cool, because they're going to be very, very valuable in the coming months. So, free gold. Ms. Summers is on the call. Cassie, do you want to talk about some new cards? Do you want to unmute and talk about new cards, or do you want me to talk about them? You just let me know.
I can unmute, but I've got to turn off Daphne. Daphne's got her little video going. I'll just turn off the lovely Ms. Harvey. Stop video. There you go. So that'll make that disappear. So can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Am I making sense? Excellent. So yes, we're making progress with our e-gift cards, which is really, really great. And there's going to be some really good benefits with the ones that we do have. Look at Red Balloon. That is going to be 4% return to people shopping and buying Red Balloon. And that's the one brilliant for gifts. That's where you can go through and, you know, if you want to fly a balloon or racing car or any of those sorts of things, it's a brilliant, brilliant card to have available for your family, friends, gifts. The Accor Hotel, so now we're able to travel again. That's a 3% return. We've got the Beauty and Spa, EB Games, Dimix, Foot Locker, Kathmandu. A lot of people love shopping Kathmandu. If you're into hiking or just the outdoors, the great outdoors, brilliant. Sunglass Hut, I had an employee of mine that actually ended up working for Sunglass Hut, and she loved them, and that's a 5% rebate. We're also soon to have Dusk. Dusk is coming up, and that's going to be a 6% rebate. Very, very exciting there. Sephora, that's going to be a 3%. We've got Sheridan coming up, that's going to be 4% rebate. So this is what you buy. So you get your card for $100, you pay $100, you get $100 on your e-gift card. What we're going to give back to you, and we're setting that up now, we're going to be giving that on a weekly basis. We've got some catch up to do. That will happen by the end of June. It's going to happen by the end of the financial year. And then I hope to do it every week from then on. So very exciting. Plus, we've got another lot of cards coming on, which we're working hard to get, which is also very special. I won't tell you what they are in case it doesn't come off, but yes, we're very, very excited. If you want to start shopping with easy shopping cards, you're certainly getting in at the right time. Plus, you may have noticed we've changed the amounts that you can buy. In increments of $50, it goes up as much as $1,000. Some things you can buy and $1,000 of at the same time. So if you're looking for your furniture, Freedom Furniture, you can pay $1,000 in one hit. So it means a much easier shopping experience. So thank you very much. Did I miss anything, Derek?
No, I think you did pretty well.
Excellent.
I've got to go to JB Hi-Fi and buy a clothes dryer. I'll be doing a couple of those.
There. That's not one of the new ones.
No, that's one of the old ones.
Huge rain. Yes, yeah.
Yep. Okay, thanks, Cass.
No worries.
Now, I know that there's a whole lot of software programming going on in the background there to, whoops, I didn't mean to do that, to make all those benefits happen weekly. And I can tell you that I've been in the middle of it, and it's a nightmare trying to work it out because the suppliers change the margins, all that sort of stuff. So you've got to write all this software to allow you to change the values. It's really, really interesting to see how many of these companies are coming on board with e-gift cards. Now, just a real quick thing. Prior to Woolworths going offline, you could buy any of the Woolworths brands. So you could buy a BWS gift card, and it worked in Woolworths, Big W, BWS, Dan Murphy's, worked everywhere. Now it doesn't do that. If you buy a Big W card, it works in Big W. If you buy a Wish gift card, however, the one you can see in the top left of the screen, that works in all of the Woolworths chain. So don't buy a BWS card and think you can spend it on groceries, because you can't. You can buy a Woolworths card that works on groceries and you get a rebate, or buy the Wish gift card and just use it everywhere. That's what I do. Anyway, let's move right along. Don't forget this promo. If you're looking at buying a hub, do it now. 300 zeniq coins and 200 Avinoc tokens. And I'm going to talk about the Avinoc tokens in a few minutes because they're performing pretty uniquely. Zeniq coins, because they're a coin on a native blockchain, they're performing about as you would expect in the current market. But Avinoc have absolutely turned that trend on its ear, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Hub info, don't forget this web address. You can go to this address in your browser and you can work out all of the information, all the warranty information is there, and it will let you basically print out the manual if you want. So all of the info is there on that link. I'm not going to go through the pages again because we did that last week. You could go and watch the recording, but there's a whole lot of information there that really needs to be looked at. Here's a bit more general news from Europe. And it's been really interesting to look at how this company has brought their entire ecosystem to market. So the zeniq wallet app has been available for, what would you call it? It's been available as a download in Play Store and whatever the iPhone one is, I forget what that is, but it's been there for a while, a few months, and they've just gone past 100,000 downloads. Now, I think that's really important because we're dealing with an organization that has managed to build an ecosystem and then release the important bits. So we aren't buying Avinoc tokens and thinking, what's going to happen? Will it work one day? Is the business going to fly? Avinoc is already in the marketplace, and those tokens are performing really well. Now, if you've got 100,000 Avinoc tokens in your zeniq wallet, you can even hit the staking button and stake it. But just be aware, some of these coins that are in the wallet are still on the ERC20 contracts because they haven't fully transitioned onto the zeniq blockchain. So when you go to move those coins, you need to have Ethereum in there as well. And I cannot tell you how much I hate Ethereum because of the gas fees. It's ridiculous. I can't wait till everything is on our blockchain and we don't have to leave that ecosystem. So just make sure that you pay close attention to that. Here's what we were talking about with the Avinoc coins. Now, if you think about when they were released in January, they were 21 cents, 21 US cents. They are today, yesterday when I did this, 32 cents. So they've increased in value 52%. That's pretty good. In fact, it's spectacular when you look at it with an eye on the entire ecosystem that's around these coins. So anything that's in the crypto space, look at Bitcoin, January 2020. So I went back to the same month and looked at the price, 37,928 USD. May 15th, 29,126, a 23% decrease. Yep, a 23% decrease. In fact, in 6 months, Bitcoin has lost just on 50% of its market price. That's amazing. And Avinoc, look at that. It's doing pretty well. 52% increase in the same time that the biggest player in the field is looking at about a 20 to 50% decrease. It's crazy. And I'm saying 20 to 50 because the Bitcoin statement today was 6 months. Well, it's the 16th of the 5th. So that means that our 6 months was back actually in November. So those numbers are real because I checked them today. I've got a few Avinoc tokens. I'd like to have a couple 100,000 more, but I don't. But I'm hanging on to the ones that I do have. And this is where it ranked on CoinMarketCap just a few days ago. Now, I'm going to say that's about a week ago I took that screenshot. So they were ranked number 178 on CoinMarketCap. I think I checked with one of the guys tonight and it was about, I'm going to say 250. So it will fluctuate, that rank, as time goes by. 251. There you go. Thanks, Martin. It's ranked number 251. So, okay, it slid down the list a little bit, but that is going to fluctuate. The fact that we're in the top 500 is amazing. And that coin is holding its value. Now, with your hubs, we have had many, many debates with people in various countries who have given us all sorts of explanations on how long these clubs will mint. Is it 18 years? Is it 20 years? Is it 5 years? How long does that last? Well, we've got the answer. Until the fourth digit after the decimal point. So if you own a full hub, you can go into zeniq in the menu in the Safir website, click on hubs, and you'll see the MAC address there for your hub. If you click on that, it will tell you how many coins per day it minted yesterday. Now, if you look at that number, it will be somewhere like 2.2 coins, but there's 8 decimal places there. So that has been gradually reducing every day, which is the plan, but it will continually mint coins until it gets down to only using the 4th decimal place. And once that goes past there, when you've got 4 zeros there, it will stop minting coins. Now, that's still a long time away, because I've had a hub for a fair bit of time, and we haven't gone through 1 decimal point, 1 decimal place, yet. So it will be around for quite a while. It will be minting coins. And when you understand a little bit about how this ecosystem works, it's really a good plan. They've done extraordinarily well. I love how they've built a business model before they built a token. I'm sick to death of dealing with coins that come out and you get a mate call you at 2 o'clock in the morning from a pub saying, I've just been talking to somebody, he said you should buy $1,000 worth of this coin. And in 2 weeks, it's completely disappeared. I haven't done that ever. I have a couple of times spent $100 on a new coin, but I like to know that it's going to be around for a while. This coin's going to be around for a while. So don't forget the roadmap. We have our AU4U Australian corporate entity, and we have the zeniq blockchain. goldrocks does the training for AU4U. Safir and zeniq work together to promote the zeniq blockchain. It's a hand-in-glove arrangement on both sides of that fence. AU4U stores its metal here in Brisbane. The physical metal is here. And the Singapore metal is for the tokens that are coming. And yes, you will eventually be able to swap between them. Why Singapore? The biggest custodial vault in Asia. They've been around a very long time and they're not likely to change. It is very well set up. I know numbers of very large organisations that use that custodial vault. And I know we were involved with a business a few years ago where supposedly someone walked into the vault and took their gold. Well, I hate to tell you this, but that's impossible. When I go into the vault here in Brisbane, I think there's 6 levels of security, one of which is photographs and facial recognition and handprint and voice and physical identification. Lots of stuff that happens there. The one in Singapore is even stronger security. So for this idiot that was trying to pull off a stunt to say that someone took the gold from his vault in Singapore is just a complete furphy. He would have used the gold to buy his latest Learjet. So that's why we're using Singapore for the tokens, because we don't have a big enough custodial vault here in Australia. Avinoc is transferring onto the zeniq blockchain as we speak. They have it already running on the zeniq blockchain, and it will migrate all of its tokens from the ERC20 Ethereum contracts onto the zeniq contracts. And the staking is working now. But you need to understand, if you move Avinoc tokens right now out of your wallet to stake it, you're going to need to pay a gas fee. And given that I hate Ethereum and I hate gas fees, I'm not doing that. Toupan, just about to come on the market. The zeniq coins, all three of those will run natively on that blockchain. The Toupan tokens will enable me to buy a cubic meter of Amazon rainforest. And I want to put a map up on the wall and put a coloured pin in it so I know where my 1 cubic meter is, so that I can brag about that when people come over for a barbecue. But I think they're doing a good job. They're protecting the rainforest. If it costs me a couple of bucks to buy a cubic meter, I'll be very happy to do it. The zeniq coin is going to revolutionise everything we do. And there's 400 other projects coming onto that blockchain. Can't tell you what they are. Love to tell you, but I'd have to kill you. They're secret. But there are a lot of projects. I'm expecting about 8 million consumers on that blockchain by the end of this year. And that will be because of the projects they're bringing on to make sure that this all works. What links this together? Right, because we've now got a business in Australia with physical metal and a blockchain business somewhere else in the world. Silver and gold tokens that will run natively on the zeniq blockchain. And they will link the two businesses together forever. So if you're on this call and you're a member, you need to understand that you need to get really excited by that, because revenue is coming from those tokens. And it's underway right now. The planning is already happening. We're looking at building enough space in here so that we can get as much gold and silver as possible onto the blockchain. And we're going to talk about why that's important in just a minute. Think about food prices. How's that all going? Well, we've talked plenty about inflation, but this dude, Ben Gilbert, Mrs. Gilbert's son, he's a retail analyst at an investment bank called Jarden. And they're talking about price increases at supermarkets will soar because of inflation. And they're talking about at least 12% this year. Coles has already jacked up prices by more than 3.3% over the March quarter. And they're just passing on the inflated costs of shipping, fuel, meat, veggies, everything. Everything they do costs money, and everything they do is going up in price. So guess who ends up wearing the price increase? You and I. Because things like iceberg lettuce now cost $5.50. Yes, that is a single head of iceberg lettuce costs $5.50. Isn't that bizarre? A couple of years ago, they were $1 each. $5.50 for an iceberg lettuce. Amazing. So how are we going to deal with all this? Well, we're going to have a smart chain. What is a smart chain? zeniq is one of the very early developers of this technology, and it basically creates an environment, because smart chains allow for sending and receiving digital assets, including the native currency or coins that run on the blockchain. And it's not so much that they allow you to do it, it's that you can tell the smart chain when you want it done. And when this occurs, do that. And it does it by itself. Once you've set this up, it just goes unhindered and it does what you tell it to do. So that's a massive step up, because once you start to talk about issuing tokens or supplying tokens or coins from minting, which we're doing, burning, locking, unlocking, freezing, unfreezing, all that sort of stuff, You can program that into the smart chain because that's what it's designed for. It will issue new tokens based on what that smart chain standard is. So anything that's on the zeniq smart chain, it will have a standard that the new tokens will be set up with, and you can set that process underway and walk away. That's why blockchain and smart chain technology is changing our world as we speak, and we don't even see it happening. It's happening in the background because smart contracts will allow you to set up a business that will run itself. That's very cool. Now, what about that stable coin? Now, we just talked about the roadmap before, about the gold and silver tokens, et cetera, et cetera. What about stable coins? Because that's what a gold-backed token will be. The price of the token will match the price of the gold that the token represents, because we're using the zeniq blockchain, so we are tokenizing assets. We're not creating a cryptocurrency that everybody hopes will be fantastic. We are tokenizing a physical asset. Well, Terra or Luna, two coins that were supposedly stable coins. They have completely collapsed. I got an email from one of my exchanges yesterday to say they have suspended trading in those two coins because they're now worth zero. And it was a stable coin backed by Bitcoin. Now, does anybody see an issue with the fact that Bitcoin has declined in value over the last 6 months by as much as 50%? Isn't it amazing that a whole bunch of people believed that that coin was a stable coin? It's backed by Bitcoin, which isn't a stable coin. And yet somehow they were able to get it labeled as a stable coin. It's insanity. And that's why you want tokens and coins that have tokenized assets behind them, not digital currencies behind them that have no assets behind them. You want something that's real and something that will work and hold its value. What about gold being stable? Well, I know. Look, I post a bit of stuff on Twitter every now and then. And a few months ago, I had this girl in the US give me a bit of a tune-up because I didn't know what I was talking about. But gold wasn't stable. The cryptocurrency was. Let's look at that. Shares in the last 30 days, minus 11 trillion. That's with a T on the front of it, trillion dollars down on where it was a couple of months ago. 11 trillion. Crypto in the last 6 months, down 50% total market cap. How about that stability? Gold in the last 30 days. Now, I've chosen 30 days because I did 30 days for the shares, and that was scary enough. Gold, 30 days, down 1.41%. 1.41%. Let me think about that. Where do I want to put my life savings? Yep, I can make a lot of money in the share market. I can make a lot of money in the crypto market. I can lose a lot of money in both those. Gold has a 5,000-year history. That's why we're creating a cryptocurrency that's 100% backed by gold. Lots of people have talked about doing it. No one's done it. It will be backed by solid gold, stable, the same as physical gold, a real stable coin. That's what we're about to achieve, and that's what you're a part of if you're here on this call tonight. Because at some point in the not too distant future, there will be no more ways that you can join AU4U, because you are going to be our founding members. And that's where the fees will go. Our prayers, thoughts, well wishes, etc., go out to everyone in the Ukraine. I have to say, the more I see on Twitter and YouTube and all that, the worse it makes me feel. I just don't get why Putin thought he needed to do that, other than he's nuts. But anyway, we'll just leave that alone. Another political soapbox I don't want to get on. But look, we just hope it ends soon, and we hope that all the people of the Ukraine get their country back and live long and prosper. So what now? You need to present yourself in a way that you can prevent a disaster. You need a way to privately hold your assets, and you need to have spendable assets. Absolutely spendable assets. Know how to protect your assets, because you will not get a better opportunity than what you're looking at here right now. There's going to be new cryptocurrencies on the market, and there'll be people that become millionaires with it. They won't be everyday ordinary people. There'll be people on the inside. There'll be people that know what's going to happen. They'll take advantage of it. They'll sell out when the price spikes. And there you go. It won't be the ordinary people like you and I. When they listed the zeniq coin on the token, it spiked enormously. I didn't sell any, because I'm in this for the long term. I know this business will continue to mint coins for me and create revenue and create a lifestyle for many, many years to come. That's why I'm here. You also need to create a side income. Look, when I was back in my teens and 20s, I didn't just have a job. I was always doing a couple other things on the side, making spending money, because working for somebody, you're always at their mercy. Side income gives you a level of financial security. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, you need to think about having the ability to create your own income streams. I'm not telling you need to be self-employed completely, but have a side income. So what's going on with tokenization? Why are we in this space? And you might notice that tokenization is spent with a Z, Cassandra, because the Europeans do it, the Americans do it, and I got sick of dealing with the red line, squiggly line under it. So I changed it to the Z as well. When you tokenize, let's say a project, for example, if we're going to do a real estate development somewhere, you can sell tokens in that. You don't have to sell shares. It's much easier to issue tokens than shares. That gives you an opportunity to raise capital outside of the banking system and the usual process that you go through. That means it saves the companies that are raising the capital a massive saving, because they don't have to pay for it. And it's transparent. It's on the blockchain. Having something tokenized means I can't hide it. Once you have the blockchain explorer for the zeniq blockchain, you can see where those tokens are going. Now, you can't necessarily see the name of the person, but you can see the blockchain address they've gone to. You'll be able to verify that what you thought was happening with your tokens that you were desperately waiting to collect from the Amazon rainforest, you'll be able to work out where they are and what's happening to them. It's a great process because it takes away all the guesswork. So what sort of stuff can you tokenize? Pretty much anything when you think about it, particularly with a smart chain. You do real estate, solar systems, wind power, energy generation, art, paintings. Usually they call them NFTs. And of course, when they first hit the market, they were hugely popular. People made lots of money. But don't get caught up in buying tokens or NFTs just because they're there. Make sure the asset that is behind them is valuable. Very important. You can do it for patents, licenses, all sorts of things. There'll be commodities and financial assets out in the market very soon where you will be able to do this. So you won't need to buy bonds. You'll buy a token that is a part of a bond, owns a part of a bond. So it makes a big difference once you've got everything in one central location. So what now? We're in the right place to benefit from the economic mess we see today. We've been talking about it for a long time. It's free to add a wallet, get one, download it from zeniq onto your phone. Coin minting starts at 100 euros and up. The bonus that we talked about earlier only applies to full hubs. So the ones with the tablets, or it doesn't matter if it's the digital one, as long as it's a full hub, you get the bonus. Stay focused on the package, gold, silver, crypto. Don't get engaged in your mate's idea that buy 100 million coins in this. We met a guy a few years ago who was in the founding group that created a cryptocurrency, and they wanted me to invest in it. And it was only 2 or 3 cents a coin at the time, which was, okay, you buy $50 worth, you got a lot of coins. But when I asked him, what is the roadmap for the use case? They didn't have one. All they could talk about was these coins are going to be worth a fortune and you'll own masternodes and you'll get paid with coins and you can sell them. You can only sell them if someone thinks there's a value attached. Don't get caught up in that. I've got a friend we spent some time with just recently. She does a lot of trading of cryptocurrency, gold and silver. And she has a different view of what I was used to in the Forex market 10 or 15 years ago. So 10 or 15 years ago, we built a system that made an inordinate amount of money. And I used to listen to these traders and they'd say, look, this market wants to go up here. And I'd go, no, it doesn't. The market has no emotion. The market is the will of the people. So if a whole lot of people get excited and do one thing, the market changes. Stop trying to give a dead thing emotions. It doesn't work. And you see that today in the crypto and share market. Shares are wholly dependent on the emotions of the people that are buying or selling. The same as most cryptocurrency. Just be aware. What if you want more coins? They'll be available for purchase on the zeniq exchange real soon, or you can purchase hubs or parts thereof. I will mint free coins for you for a long time. You can save them, you can sell them, do whatever you like with them. It's entirely up to you. They only have to sit in your wallet for 24 hours before you do something with them. There's no extended holding period. So why are we here? We say it every week. We're a group of like-minded people focused on economic survival. The world is changing and we should pay attention. Let's have a look at our list of what's happening in the world. I know ITM Trading, Lynette Zhang, and she came out in this video with the saying that no governing body has our best interest in mind. None of them. No government in the world is looking after its people. The people that you elect to represent you are there trying to save their job. That's what they do for a living. There are lots of people that get elected with all the right thoughts and feelings and plans, and they're not in there very long before they change. So worth listening to, quite a short one for her. The dollar facing a crisis. Now, at the moment, the gold price and the silver price went down a bit because the dollar went up. And once again, let me restate my feelings. Currency, cryptocurrency, shares, when you're trading them, there is no real number that influences them. Some people will tell you there is, and they'll demonstrate figures. None of it's real. The price of the US dollar should be going through the floor, and it's not. Why isn't it? Oh, it's the US dollar. Everyone, oh, bit panicked. We've got to have some US dollars. It's insanity. The US dollar at some point will continue to go down. And in fact, Lynette Zhang in the previous video talks about at some point they will create an emergency situation where the US Fed Reserve will be issuing CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and they will maneuver themselves into a position to do it. Here we are with Florian Heiser talking about prices skyrocketing. I know we try not to be negative on this, but man, $5.50 for a head of iceberg lettuce? Come on. And here's an interesting one. Just been announced, our glorious leader has decided to allow people to use up to $50,000 of their super to buy their first home. Now, it's always really annoyed me that if someone's got a superannuation fund, it's their money. The money was put there to benefit that person. But the rules say you can't do anything with that money that will be a direct benefit to the person that owns the fund. Is that moronic? Am I missing something? It appears to me that that's a moronic situation. Now they're looking at changing it. The thing that bothers me about that is now you're getting nervous because you're thinking, hang on a minute. You're wanting me to spend $50,000 of my super to buy my first house. What's the catch? Something's going on in the background we don't know about. So we'll pay attention to that and we'll see what we can work out as time goes on. This is another little video about the crash of the stable coins that we talked about. Is it the end of stable coins they talk about? Look, I think it might be the end of stable coins that work like that, where they're stable, but the asset that's supposed to give them stability isn't stable. Again, just like a super fund, isn't that a moronic thing to do? Why would you do that? Right. And here we are at Kitco News again, and they're talking about the dot-com bubble. Those of you that were around as I was in the 99, 2000 period, if you registered a website, in fact, I know a guy who put a massive amount of his savings into bride.com. Now, if you think about that, bride.com. Every young lady that wants to be a bride has very specific views about how she wants her wedding to be. How do you think she's going to cope with a suggestion from a website? Correct. It didn't go well. I think it lasted about 100 days before it went financially legs up in the goat yard and all the investors lost their money. It was a nonsense thing. If you came up with a .com name, people were throwing money at it. And here we are again. We're in the crypto gamble and people are throwing money at stable coins that aren't stable. It's insane. watch this space because it is going to change everything we do. The bottom line, everything we knew as normal has gone, and it is absolutely unlikely to come back as it was before. Everything we ever talked about is coming true. You don't need to be a salesperson to succeed with what we're doing. You can do it on your own. The system is built that way. You need to set yourself up to be your own bank, have your own system in place, protect yourself. That's it for us, ladies and gentlemen, this week. Martin, yes, they can garnish our super at any time, and they have a number of times already. I don't trust governments, and you know what they say about politicians when their lips are moving. So let's just make sure that we look after ourselves. We'll keep going down this road. Those of you that are on this call will do extraordinarily well when this coin goes live, which we hope will be September, October. We'll see where it takes us because we're in for an amazing ride. We'll see you on the golden beaches of the world. Have a great night.